Okay, now we're going to look at another example. This is question 4 of the exam piece study note. Alright, we have an urn contains 10 balls, 4 red, 6 blue. Second urn contains 16 red balls and an unknown number of blue balls. A single ball is drawn from each urn. The probability that both balls are the same color is 0.44. Calculate the number of balls in the second urn. Alright, so for this particular problem, what we want to do is we want to make sure that we understand that this is just a fancy way of asking us about the law of total probability. And the law of total probability simply says that if you account for all of the possible events, that all has to add up to 100%, or in this case, the probability of 1. But we don't need to look at that law in totality because they actually tell us that the probability that both balls are the same color is 0.44. So what that really means, it's a fancy way of saying, that the probability that you either have 2 blue balls plus the probability that you have 2 red balls is equal to 0.44. Okay? So now what we need to do is look at the probability of finding 2 blue balls and 2 red balls. Alright, so for the first urn, we have 6 out of 10 are going to be blue. So you have 6 out of a total of 10 of the first urn. And then the second urn, what do we have? Well, we don't know how many blue balls we have, so I'm just going to use this as the variable. I already used B. Let me just use this as X. X represents, let's do X equals number of blue balls. Okay, so we're going to have X. Now, how many total balls do we have in the second urn? Well, we know that we have 16 of them, which are red. And X, which is the number of blue balls, comprises our total. Alright? Let's look at the probability of getting 2 reds. Well, the first one, we have 4 out of 10. Probability of getting that is 4 out of 10. And then for the second one, we have 16 red. And the total number of balls in the next urn again is 16 plus X. Alright? And we're told that this is equal to 0.44. So at this point, I don't want to really turn this into an algebra lesson. You have one equation with one variable, so you really should be able to solve this on your own. If you do a couple of calculator tricks, you should be able to come up with the fact that X in this case is equal to 4. There is a trick on your calculator. The calculator that I suggest for this exam is the TI-30XS, and in it, if you push the table button, it'll say y equals, and then you can set your equation equal to that, and then when you push enter, it'll say start. Well, that's going to be, you set that equal to whatever your X value is, and then you can manipulate the steps. So you really can just scroll in if you don't want to do any algebra. But in terms of this particular question, that's really all there is to it. You just need to make sure that you understand that you're trying to solve for the probability of all the possible events happening. If you really wanted to get deeper into this problem for whatever reason, you would have to calculate the probability of getting a red ball out of the first urn and a blue ball out of the second urn, and then add that to the probability of getting a blue ball from the first urn and a red ball from the second urn. All of that has to equal to 1. If you were to do that, you will find that that does in fact equal 0.56, but you really don't need to do that for this problem. All right, again, as always, if you have any questions, leave a comment in the leave a question in the comment box, and I'll be more than happy to answer it. All right, thanks.